It may not surprise anybody to hear this, but I am not a car guy. Basically, I treat my car the same way I treat my body. It should get me from point A to point B. It should be big, strong, utilitarian, and occasionally I abuse it. Welcome to Real School, the film education channel that majored in Hollywood but minored in disappointing my parents. I'm your host, Michael Wynne Johnson, and today I will be reviewing Ford v Ferrari. Yes, I will admit it is thoroughly un-American of me not to know that much about cars, but I will also admit I'm Canadian. But do you know what American construct I thoroughly enjoy? A good Western. And arguably the best modern Western filmmaker is director James Mangold, who has brought us Walk the Line, one of the best Western remakes in 3:10 to Yuma, and definitely the best comic book movie / Western hybrid in Logan. He also directed Kate and Leopold and Night and Day. But since we're talking about all things American, what could be more American than a subpar Tom Cruise film? Hey, who among us hasn't had a tiny 5'6" hiccup in our career? But for the most part, Mangold is a very solid director who gets tremendous performances out of his cast. But you could also say he's a very safe director who always gets tremendous performances out of his cast. And that isn't to diminish his work at all. He always makes very entertaining films, but they never really take any chances. And you know what? Ford v Ferrari is just that. As much as it is a Western motif, the best way of putting it is it feels like a Disney sports movie. Actually, Other Me is onto something. Remember Miracle or D2 the Mighty Ducks, where a plucky group of Americans are in a sport where they have no business being... Okay, you know what, sorry. That statement was a little too Canadian. Sorry. A gang of misfits takes on a vaguely ethnic group, like the evil Icelanders in D2, and proves through American grit and sweat that not only do they belong in hockey, but they're winners. I mean, if the Ford team at one point crossed the finish line in a flying V, I wouldn't be surprised. Oh my God, they actually do that at one point. And much like Miracle, Ford v Ferrari is actually based on a true story, but this time it's American innovation and ingenuity and imagination versus Italian style and cockiness. But both teams have to prove who can build the perfect sports car to win the 24-hour race of Le Mans. And even knowing as little as I did about the true story, you can probably guess how this is going to end. So is this a case of it's not the destination, it's how you get there? Well, not so much, because as mentioned earlier, the journey is pretty much telegraphed, but also mentioned earlier, with Mangold films, it's not about how you get there, but who you get there with. If you want a little more of a Western motif thrown into Ford v Ferrari, then look no further than Matt Damon playing real-life Texan Carroll Shelby. And this version of Shelby is everything that America loves. Bad boy renegade attitude, southern charm, and a man who likes big hats and fast cars. I mean, even knowing as little as I know that Shelby was behind the Mustang. And if that's not a perfect fit for a cowboy, I don't know what is. Even the supporting cast is full of common names that you've seen before who all give solid performances, like Josh Lucas playing a douchebag. You've seen that before. John Bernthal playing a handsome, kind of edgy dude. You've seen that before. And Katrina Balfe playing a strong-willed, kind of stubborn, but supportive woman. Guess you've seen that too. But the fact is, yeah, they give solid performances, but they don't really push themselves because none of them had to. It would have been nice if they spent a little more time on Miles' story, now knowing the history behind this film, but it was never that kind of movie. It would have been nice if Mangold got a chance to show a little more style in his direction, but it was never that kind of movie. Yeah, they touch on things. Mangold's cinematography, especially in the race sequences, is kind of cool, and he puts you in the driver's seat, but aside from that, once again, the word is safe. Wait, a Brit? That's not very American. Yeah, but he's played by Batman, so he kind of gets an automatic American pass. Not to mention that Miles allegedly was just as much of a Spitfire as Shelby was, so he's pretty much American anyways. And with that, the two of them, Bale and Damon, have amazing brotherly chemistry, and they really, pun completely intended, drive the movie. But did anybody really push themselves on this project? I mean, it seems like the only real challenge was Fox admitting they have to make a Disney-type sports movie. And that's even before Fox was bought out by Disney. Maybe we should get used to this. Maybe we're going to get this more and more as our mouse-eared overlords purchase everything in Hollywood. Movies are going to be very entertaining, but very safe and formulaic. It's still an earn it. You should go see it. Go watch it. In the meantime, I'm going to go watch Disney Plus. Poll question, what's your favorite racing movie? As always, leave your answers in the comments section below. But until next time, school's out. Hey Real students, thanks for watching. If you want to subscribe to Real School, click that round Real School logo right beside me. Also click that damn notification bell so you're aware of all of Real School's new content. You can follow me on Twitter, and of course, if you get anything out of Real School, you can always give a little back. Just click the link in the description below or the button down there, and you can become part of my Patreon team.